A strapping young stockman lay dying, his saddle supporting his head. His two mates around him were crying as he rose on his pillow and said, "Wrap me up with my stock whip and blanket and bury me deep down below, where the dingoes and crows can't molest me, in the shade where the coolibahs grow." Oh, had I the flight of the bronze wing, far over the plains I would fly, straight to the land of my childhood, and there I would lay down and die. Then cut down a couple of saplings, place one at my head and my toe, carve on them cross stock whip and saddle, to show there's a stockman below. Wrap me up with my stock whip and blanket and bury me deep down below, where the dingoes and crows can't molest me, in the shade where the coolibahs grow. Hark, there is the wail of a dingo, watchful and weird I must go, for it tolls the death knell of the stockman from the gloom of the scrub down below. There's tea in the battered old billy, place pannikins out in a row, and we'll drink to the next merry meeting in the place where all good fellas go. Wrap me up with my stock whip and blanket and bury me deep down below, where the dingoes and crows can't molest me, in the shade where the coolibahs grow. And oft in the shades of the twilight, when the soft winds are whispering low, and the darkening shadows are falling, sometimes think of the stockman below. Wrap me up with my stock whip and blanket and bury me deep down below, where the dingoes and crows can't molest me, in the shade where the coolibahs grow.
There's a hustle and a bustle in the old hotel tonight. The bar is full to bursting and the lights are gleaming bright. They're waiting for the horses who have been through the night, and they're waiting for the coach of Cobb and Co. Cobb and Co, Cobb and Co, and they're waiting for the coach of Cobb and Co. There's Billy Jones, the jackaroo, still breathless from his ride. He bought a brand new sulky and it's standing just outside. He's waiting for the pretty girl who's going to be his bride, and she's coming on the coach of Cobb and Co. Cobb and Co, Cobb and Co, and she's coming on the coach of Cobb and Co. Now the horses' hooves are drumming, in the distance they're a-coming. A far-off light is moving across the plain. At breakneck speed they're driving, pretty soon they'll be arriving. There'll be lots of cheer when old friends meet again. There's Dan, the old prospector, and he's got a bag of gold. He made a lucky strike, about 2,000 pounds I'm told. He's off to see the city lights before he gets too old, and he's leaving on the coach of Cobb and Co. Cobb and Co, Cobb and Co, and he's leaving on the coach of Cobb and Co. Jim Burke is mighty worried 'cause the creeks are running dry. Unless he gets some money soon, he'll kiss his farm goodbye. He's written to the bank and now he's waiting their reply, and he hopes it's on the coach of Cobb and Co. Cobb and Co, Cobb and Co, and he hopes it's on the coach of Cobb and Co. The driver's whips are cracking and the horses' hooves are tracking as across the red and dusty plain they race. There's a distant light a-burning and the passengers are yearning for the comfort of a warm and friendly place. Then someone shouts, "They're coming!" and the door is open wide. There's a rattle and a clatter and the coach is there outside, with horses hot and steamy from their long and dusty ride, with the coach that bears the name of Cobb and Co. Cobb and Co, Cobb and Co, with the coach that bears the name of Cobb and Co.
I've cut cane from Innisfail to south beyond Tweed Head, done my share of shearing through the central western shed. At Mount Isa I worked down the mine, but now I'm pleased to find I'm on the Brisbane Valley Highway heading home. I'm a man who worked the season, so I'm moved around a lot. Now half the time the sleeper cab is the only roof I've got, but the wheels run free, and that suits me. I'll work my way from Burke to Gin Gin on the coast. Had a look at Cooktown where the sun's so hot you roast. At Charleville I fenced mile on mile, but now I'm pleased to find I'm on the Brisbane Valley Highway heading home. I'm a man who worked the season, so I'm moved around a lot. Now half the time the sleeper cab's the only roof I've got, but the wheels run free, and that suits me. Well, things were crook in Tullarook the last time I was there. It was dry in Yalleroy and the pub was short of beer. At Yarraman I worked on the line, but now I'm pleased to find I'm on the Brisbane Valley Highway heading home. I'm on the Brisbane Valley Highway heading home. In our sunshine state of Queensland, nature's beauties do abound. From the Gulf and Tablelands up north, south to the Darling Downs. But my story's of a mountain through a legend brought to shame. In our famous glasshouse mountain, Tibrogargan is its name. Tibrogargan, Tibrogargan, you look such a stately sight as you tower above the highway, thousands pass you day and night. Oh, I wonder if this many know your legend just like me, as you stand in somber silence, sadly watching out to sea. Now Tibrogargan was the father of the tribes throughout the land, and Bill was the maiden fair who'd given him her hand. They had many, many children, Dreamtime legends do recall. Canaran was the eldest, a warrior straight and tall. Tibrogargan, Tibrogargan taught his children wrong from right, and kept watch for many dangers that might threaten day or night. But one day Tibrogargan knew a great flood there would be, for he'd seen a mighty rising of the waters out to sea. Said Tibrogargan to Canaran, help Mother Beerwood get away, and I will follow with them Gun Gun and the others now at play. But Canaran proved a coward and went for safety on his own, and left his mother there to face the dangers all alone. Now the mighty Tibrogargan, he grew angry at the sight, and with Nulla Nulla in his hand he struck an iron in his flight. Tibrogargan's shame was heavy at a son so cowardly, and vowed to look upon him nevermore, but just face out to sea. If you pass our Glasshouse Mountains on the highway or by train, in the West Crook neck an iron seems to hang his head in shame. Tibrogargan keeps his promise and looks on his son no more, but keeps on facing eastward to the mighty ocean shore. Tibrogargan, Tibrogargan, you look such a stately sight, as you tower above the highway, thousands pass you day and night. Oh, I wonder if there's many know your legend just like me, as you stand in somber silence, sadly watching out to sea. As you stand in somber silence, sadly watching out to sea.
It's a lonesome way from your kindred and all, by the campfire at night, where the wild ingles call. But there's nothing so lonesome, morbid or drear, than to stand in the bar of a pub with no beer. Now the publican's anxious for the quota to come, and there's a faraway look on the face of the bum. The maid's gone all cranky and the cook's acting queer. Oh, what a terrible place, there's a pub with no beer. Well, strange things happen here in the outback. My old friend who wrote that song is here with all our truckie mates today. Let's give a big hand as he comes out with his guitar to the yodeling bushman Gordon Parsons, my old mate. Hiya, Jack. There's nothing I wouldn't do for Ned, and there's nothing he wouldn't do for me. And that's how we go through life, doing absolutely nothing for each other.
Why, thank you very
Would you like
much.
to sing along in this? You can do the next verse you like about the stockman. Hey!
While the stockman rides in with his dry, dusty throat, he breasts up to the bar, pulls a wad from his coat. The smile on his face quickly turns to a sneer, as the barman said sadly, the pub's got no beer.
Then the swaggy comes in, smothered in dust and flies. He throws down his roll and rubs the sweat from his eyes. But when he is told, he says, "What's this I hear? I've trudged 50 flaming miles to a pub with no beer." Hey!
There's a dog on the veranda, for his master he waits, 'cause the boss is inside, drinking wine with his mates.
Terrible situation.
He hurries for cover and he cringes in fear.
Yes.
What a place for a dog in a pub with no beer.
And old Billy the blacksmith, the first time in his life, has gone home cold sober to his darling wife. He walks in the kitchen, she says, "You really, Bill dear," but then he breaks down and tells her the pub's got no beer. Shall we waltz all together? Hey! It's a lonesome away from your kindred and all, by a campfire at night, where the wild ingles call. But there's nothing so lonesome, morbid or drear, than to stand in the bar of that pub with no beer. No.
Where the hills roll away from a small country town, there are hearts filled with sorrow as the word spreads around. And the jackass won't laugh, 'cause there's no jokes to hear. So let me tell you the reason for the pub with no beer. Broken down on the track, for she stripped every gear, stands the old grey Blitz wagon, the one with the beer. And the driver's near mad, standing scratching his ear. He knows just what they're thinking at the pub with no beer. When the drover rides out and draws rein by the truck, he joins in with the driver and curses their luck. Where's Billy the blacksmith? We could do with him here. But Bill moved on to Grafton, where the brewery stands near. So the drover rides back with a brilliant idea. He rides hard in the saddle till the town's drawing near. He dismounts in the lane and the dog cringes near as the swaggy's just leaving the pub with no beer. There's excitement all round as the drover tells where the old Blitz is busted on the plains way out there. Every man that can ride, says the drover to all, saddle up, let's get moving, and we'll bring back the haul. When the boys rode back in, what a strange sight they made. They charged into the town like the old light brigade. With tow ropes and tackle they all pulled as one, and the old Blitz moved faster than she ever had done. Soon the kegs were rolled in, one was placed on the bar. They filled all the glasses, every jug and each jar. Soon the word passed around and they all gave a cheer, and there was laughter once more in the pub with no beer.
Lawson told a story, so to him it does belong. But I wrapped the tune around it, put it, tell it in a song. It's a tale about three bushmen prospecting for gold, and the saga of the loaded dog, as Henry Lawson told. They had heard about a reef of gold out near Stony Creek, and so they sank a shot and struck hard rock at 7 feet. They had pitched a tent and made their camp in a patch of scrub, and Dave and Jim were down the shaft while Andy cooked some grub. They drilled the rock and blasted it, progress was hard and slow. Still they persisted with the patience gold prospectors know. Dave Regan, he loved fishing, and Andy Page did too. But now that it was winter, they were catching very few. So Dave suggested they blow up the big hole down the creek and trade what fish they didn't want to the butcher for some beef. So Andy cooked some spots for lunch and put the billy on, and while the chops were frying, started making up a bomb. With miners blasting powder wrapped up in calico, then tightly rolled in sailcloth with whipcord then was sewed. A 6-foot fuse inserted with the end split for to light. The bomb was dipped in tallow then to make it watertight. They had a big retriever pup with a permanent foolish grin, and no matter what they threw away, he'd fetch it back again. He watched where Andy hit the bomb away from everyone, and when Dave and Jim came up for lunch, the dog began his fun. He had the cartridge in his mouth as round the fire he came. The fuse began to hiss and spit when the end fell in the flame. Well, the three men bolted different ways through the bracken fern, while Tommy thought it was a game and chased each one in turn. Jim shinned up a sapling, Tommy waded underneath. a silly grin across his face with a bomb between his teeth. The fuse was getting shorter, so Jim sprang from the tree and bolted for the pub while Tommy chased him playfully. He charged into the bar room and quickly slammed the door. When Tommy couldn't get inside, he went under the floor. A savage yellow cattle dog was waiting underneath. He wanted what that big pup had, it might be good to eat. The cattle dog, he chased him out and bit him really hard. So Tommy dropped the cartridge there in the hotel yard. The yellow dog stood over it, sniffed it up and down, and suddenly the bomb went off and rocked that little town. Some saddle horses broke their reins and galloped down the street, and pieces of that cattle dog were blown 500 feet. Well, Dave and Jim and Andy went quietly to their tent, while Tommy grinned his broadest grin, pleased with the day's event. What could have been disaster in the pub at Stony Creek turned out to be a thing the bush folk laughed about for weeks. And travellers heard the story, and the story got around, the story of a loaded dog that terrorized the town.
For the dawning and the sunrise on Australia's golden hills, by a bugle call was greeted and the pealing of the bells. You ask if I remember, my eyes are wet with tears. Before me is a picture I've remembered through the years. White crosses in the jungle by a still and silent bay tell their own sad story of someone far away. Those crosses in the jungle, in their straight long lines of white, is the reason why there's weeping round the Anzac shrine tonight. For every cross that's standing beside a tropic sea, somewhere a heart that's broken lives on in memory. Maybe a grey-haired mother, or a wife who just can't forget, or some little boy and girlie who still cry for their daddy yet. White crosses in the jungle by a still and silent bay tell their own sad story of someone far away. Those crosses in the jungle, in their straight long lines of white, is the reason why there's weeping round the Anzac shrine tonight.
Faces in the photograph have faded, and I can't believe he looks so much like me. For it's been 10 years today since I left for Old Cork Station, saying I won't be back till the droving's done. For the rain never falls on the dusty Diamantina, and a drover finds it hard to change his mind. For the years have surely gone like the drays from old Cork Station, and I won't be back till the droving's done. Well, it seems like the sun comes up each morning, sets me up, then takes it all away. For the dreaming by the light of the campfire at night ends with the burning by the day. For the rain never falls on the dusty Diamantina, and a drover finds it hard to change his mind. For the years have surely gone like the drays from old Cork Station, and I won't be back till the droving's done. Sometimes I think I'll settle back in Sydney, but it's been so long it's hard to change my mind. For the cattle trail goes on and the fences roll forever, and I won't be back till the droving's done. For the rain never falls on the dusty Diamantina, and a drover finds it hard to change his mind. For the years have surely gone like the drays from old Cork Station, and I won't be back till the droving's done. For the rain never falls on the dusty Diamantina, and a drover finds it hard to change his mind. For the years are surely gone like the drays from old Cork Station, and I won't be back till the droving's done.
When the news came through to tell us Johnny Cash had passed away, all the world was saddened on that bleak September day. We remembered what he stood for and the message in his song, as the media conveyed to us the man in black is gone. Yes, the man in black has left us, there'll be no more of his songs, but the classics that he gave us through the years will carry on. Hello, I'm Johnny Cash, no more will greet the throng. He's moved from life to legend, yes, the man in black is gone. Born in Kingsland, Arkansas in those dark depression times, with his family he worked the land and struggled to survive. They knew the taste of hardship with those Mississippi floods, but music eased his burdens, as did his belief in God. Yes, the man in black has left us, there'll be no more of his song, but the classics that he gave us through the years will carry on. Hello, I'm Johnny Cash, no more will greet the throng. He's moved from life to legend, yes, the man in black is gone. The songs he sang like Folsom Prison Blues, I walk the line and ring of fire, and of course a boy named Sue. He left us songs of faith and love, of his country and its soul, of the railroads and the Indians. In song he reached his goals. Yes, the man in black has left us, there'll be no more of his songs, but the classics that he gave us through the years will carry on. Hello, I'm Johnny Cash, no more will greet the throng. He's moved from life to legend, Yes, the man in black is gone. An imposing figure on the stage with his frame of 6'2". He thrilled the crowds across the world when he yelled, "My name is Sue, how do you do?" With wife June Carter at his side, he set each place aflame, and the equal of this man in black we'll never see again. Yes, the man in black has left us, there'll be no more of his songs, but the classics that he gave us through the years will carry on. Hello, I'm Johnny Cash, no more will greet the throng. He's moved from life to legend, yes, the man in black is gone. He's moved from life to legend, yes, the man in black is gone.
This song's for the ones who understand the words of our ballads and the beauty of our land. This song's for a very special brand. This song's for those ones who understand. I see the red dust settle as the sun goes down out back. I hear a mob of cattle coming down the Birdsville track. I see Costa with his quad pot by a fire of gidgee coal. But there's still a million stories left untold. The snowy mountain riders on the hillside take their stand. Sweeney's on the veranda with that bottle in his hand, and that Indian Pacific, she goes rolling down the track. And Rusty's master's gone away and never coming back. They're catching yellow belly in that muddy old Barcoo. Swaggy wanders round the place in a pair of worn out shoes. The plains of Peppermint Arty and the country old and wise. And a man with his hat turned down, he sang these songs with pride. Yeah, this song's for the ones who understand what it means to be Australian and treasure this great land. This song's not for rock stars to sing, to scream and fan. This song's for the ones who understand. There's thistles on the hillside and there's willows by the creek. There's a push bike leaning on the wall where two old friends would meet. And the yellow K-pop's blooming and our country's still being sold. But there's still a million stories to be told. Yes, I see the red dust settle as the sun goes down out back. I hear a mob of cattle coming down the Birdsville track. And I see Costa with his quad pot by a fire of gidgee coal. But there's still a million stories to be told. I see old Costa with his quad pot by a fire of gidgee coal. But there's still a million stories to be told.